There are so many reasons not to skip breakfast. So many savory, mouth-watering, tasty, delicious beyond all belief reasons. Actually, that last one was pretty convincing. Stop by for a McDonald's breakfast. Mix and match a sausage biscuit, sausage McMuffin, sausage burrito, or hash browns, any two for just $2. Price and participation may vary, cannot be combined with combo meal.
Have you been to Express lately? People can't get enough of their clothes. They're like instant confidence boosters. The jeans come in a temp control fabric that keeps you comfortable no matter the weather. And the t-shirts, hands down, they'll feel like they're made of the softest fabric you've ever worn. And get this, the suits have stretch and look sharp. Like, what? How do they do that? Everyone's raving about the newest looks from Express. Just check out the 5-star reviews. See for yourself and shop the latest at express.com and in stores.
Thank you for calling 423-GET-FAME. That's 423-GET-FAME. I would tell you to leave a message, but the truth is, I don't really care. I've had this hotline open for months, and not one of you jokers have what it takes to be famous like me. So leave a message if you want, but don't expect a call back. I've got way more important things to do than to waste my time on losers like Mascarita Sagrada and you all. Thank you, and have a nice day.
Hey there, folks, and welcome to the Grave Consequences podcast. I am Caleb B. That's where you can follow me on Twitter. Follow Greg at XMaserati. Follow the show at GC_cast. Check out the Social Suplex Podcast Network wherever you download your podcast. Of course, we have our solo feed, but if you want the conglomerate feed, you would also have shows such as All Things Elite with Floyd Johnson Jr. and Austin Summerwitz. You would have 8-Bit Suplex with Josh McLaughlin. You would have Great Match Generator with DJ Cooks. Grown Men Watch This Shit with Jeremy Tate and Chris Bryan. Keeping It Strong Style with Jeremy Donovan and Joshua Smith. One Nation Radio with Rich Latta and James Boyd. And that's it. And we want you to check those out. You know, go on. If you have Apple Podcast, 5 stars, rate, review, follow. That's all appreciated. And this is Season 2, Episode 6 of Lucha Underground. The title is Gift of the Gods Ladder Match. We are recording this just after Season 2, Episode 5. The recording date is July 22nd. And, Greg, how are you doing just about a minute after we finished last episode?
Back is, I'm in a different position, sitting down, and my back is already killing me.
Oh, God.
Yeah. But you make sacrifices to make things work.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we're Mr. No Weeks Off, except for when we take breaks between seasons. But that's it.
That's it.
But we've got to give the people, you know, absence makes the heart grow fonder, you know?
That's what we're told.
Like, that's why we're not inundating you with 7 episodes a week. That's why we're going once a week. That's why we're, you know, taking like a month off between seasons, that sort of thing. We want you to, you know, be like, oh man, I miss Caleb and Greg so bad. I need to hear them talk about Lucha Underground again. And that's why we're here right now. And the first thing we see is Katrina and Mil Muertes arguing. And Mil Muertes still has the sling on his arm, but he says, you know, if I could bury you right now, I would. Like, he is pissed at Katrina right now.
He's starting to show shades. You remember the first season where I was saying, like, he was getting too big for his britches and she was trying to destroy the human, the independent part of him with the first Grave Consequences matches against Fenix?
Yeah.
I think it's starting to build back up again. She can't really kill the man.
Yeah, exactly. And she even says, like, hey, if it wasn't for me, you would have never made it out of your tomb, Pasquale. So it's like, oh my God, she's cutting deep, dude.
She's the kind of person that would. She's very, if in the 2021 term, she's very toxic.
Yes, very much so. Just ask Phoenix, ask Prince Puma, ask anyone she's come across. Mill says, you know, I can't bury you, so I want to bury Pentagon and Prince Puma. Give me give me a title shot, or give them a title shot. And Katrina says no, and with the darkness, once again, she disappears, man.
This is when he was holding her by the throat over the ground too, right?
Yeah. Yes, she's in a vulnerable position, so she uses her supernatural powers to get out of that position.
Which, and he's frustrated by that, but I mean, you can't, she's like a ghost. You can't really contain her.
Yeah, what are you going to do? So our first match of the night, we see the returning Sexy Star, but she's not the same. She's a little, not uninspired, but the energy's not there like it usually is,
It's a kind of a risky kind of gimmick to do in front of a crowd that probably wasn't watching the show all the time.
Yeah.
So they might not know the long-term story. They might.
Mm-hmm.
I could be completely wrong. They could be hardcore fans. But it's, you come in, you're like, oh, I want to see Sexy Star. She's amazing. And she's acting very timid. She's doing the role correctly. She's playing a character very well. You're not going to have people in WWE that book the matches. I would imagine that they love this because she's telling a story. It's not just about the moves, but it's very risky.
Yeah. And she's here to face Kobra Moon. And this was a struggle. And no offense to Kobra Moon, congratulations, Thunder Rosa. She just got signed with AEW today, actually.
And it's her birthday.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure that's not coincidental at all. The thing with this is Kobra Moon is not a super strong character. And this was a lot of back and forth. A lot of back and forth.
No, and I think it's safe to say, right now on her own, she's not really doing much. Really, she's not that she's not getting over. It's just that she's just a wrestler that just appeared, and there's really not much behind. We know that she's part of the reptile tribe. Me and you know that, but no one else knows that. And she just kind of gets a win she doesn't really deserve.
Yeah,
I like the submission
because Sexy Star is distracted by the chance of creepy bastard from Marty the Moth Martinez.
It's if you get mad at WWE for distraction roll-ups, you kind of should get mad about this a little bit.
Yeah, maybe. But I'm not too mad just because I know they're telling a long-term story here.
That's true.
But yeah, Sexy Star, she's not the same. She's not the same right now. Next up, we had an advertisement for Famous B. And this was a little different from last week. We had the intentionally awful choreography of him beating up the luchadors. And, we get the number to call, of course, 423-GET-FAME. Again, that's 423-GET-FAME. It'll turn you from a jobber into a robber. And
there you go.
The transition here was amazing because we cut from the commercial to El Dragon Azteca Jr. watching the television and Rey Mysterio turning it off.
That's great.
Yeah. And Rey Mysterio says hey, no time for TV. I don't care that you were watching that. A lot of back and forth strikes and slap boxing. And it's hey, we got to fulfill your destiny. So we're going to go to the temple pretty soon.
I thought they weren't. Was it just Dragon Azteca Sr. that wasn't allowed on the temple?
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I forgot that lore.
Yeah. The lore of El Dragon Azteca. Next up, we had a King Cuerno vignette, and this was more just the best of King Cuerno, just to kind of remind you, hey, this is the guy who's in the main event tonight.
Mm-hmm. It's a good segment. It does help and reinforce his character and what he's all about.
Yeah, and it's one of those things it's because some people subscribe to the philosophy of, hey, what if this is someone's first time watching the show? Let's not take that for granted. Let's tell them who this guy is that's in the main event.
Absolutely. I mean, you watch MMA, they have all kinds of packages to build a person up. I love packages. And, I love vignettes and stuff like this that build up the characters and make them larger than life, as opposed to just going in the ring and just doing a paint by numbers promo on the guy they're fighting. I like things like this that are set up to make them more than just a wrestler, make them special.
Exactly. Next up, we had our semi-main event, Prince Puma versus Pentagon Jr. And Prince Puma, by the way, Pentagon earned the respect of the believers a long time ago. Prince Puma, he had a little bit, but he didn't have everyone. But he has earned the respect of everyone at the temple through blood, sweat, and tears. It's something to behold because he had to earn it. Earn it, man.
I would venture to say that this feud is one of those ones where, you know, the heel, the dark ace kind of overshadows the regular ace, you know, Puma. And sometimes it kind of, I don't want to say takes away from a match, but I think you know where I'm getting at. Where
There are so many reasons not to skip breakfast. So many savory, mouth-watering, tasty, delicious beyond all belief reasons. Actually, that last one was pretty convincing. Stop by for a McDonald's breakfast. Mix and match a sausage biscuit, sausage McMuffin, sausage burrito, or hash browns, any two for just $2. Price and participation may vary, cannot be combined with combo meal.
For the ones going above and beyond. For the ones reaching out, helping out, and lending a hand. For the ones people count on. You can count on Grainger. Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry. Backed by 24/7 customer support and specialists to help with hard-to-find products. Because you've got everyone's back. We've got yours. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger. For the ones who get it done.
you have two larger-than-life superstars of a show, and there's really not a clear guy to root against. Yeah. So the face ends up losing a lot of the support, and it goes to like the edgier, you know, what's it called? What kind of heel? The cool heel kind of guy,
like the NWO.
Yeah, and that's fine, but I mean, it always feels awkward, right?
Yeah.
Because you feel, I start feeling bad for the face because I'm like, all right, well, like I like the other guy, but you know. People are kind of starting to like some of the audience will be like, he did Cierro Miedo to someone in the crowd, and the crowd was like talking back to him. And this is Puma. So it sometimes it could be kind of awkward. Like I like the heels versus the heels, but when it's a face versus a cool heel, it gets kind of messy sometimes.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Those are, because to me, to an extent, that kind of means the heel's not doing their job, in my opinion. But I don't know. It's my opinion.
Well, the face kind of loses what they're supposed to do, right?
Yeah.
And it can be boring when it's just heel versus face all the time. But the face can't really do the things that they normally could. Because what are they going to get the hot tag? No, the cool heel gets the kind of like the not exactly a hot tag, but they're the ones that get a lot of the momentum. Mm-hmm. So what's the face doing? They always kind of end up doing some heelish kind of stuff, or things that you didn't really think were heel type moves really stick out when they do them.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
Still a great match. It's not like a huge complaint. It's just a minor nitpick, like very minor.
No, this match was awesome.
Yeah, and great match.
It was a lot of these two just beating the crap out of each other, just killing each other. And then about, a few minutes in, we see someone leave his perch and go down the steps. And it's, of course, our Lucha Underground champion, Mil Muertes. And he looks at his sling, tears the fucking thing off, and shakes his arm out.
Yeah, he recovered pretty quick from a broken arm.
Yeah. Absolutely. And if we need any more proof that he is healthy, he comes into the ring, absorbs the offense of both Prince Puma and Pentagon Jr., hits them with a double flatliner.
I mean, he hits them with spears. He's hitting them with those right hands. I think he did a Uranagi to Pentagon. Like, he's just flattening them. He is just through them, and it's pretty awesome. Pentagon wins by DQ, by the way.
Yes,
technically, and it's a really cool moment. It's a match that doesn't end, but they really couldn't have either one go, and that's also a thing that kind of like brought it down a little bit. They couldn't really have one person win over the other. It would have hurt Pentagon too much to take an L. And where would a Puma been after that?
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. So after the double flatliner, Mil poses, and then we cut to Mil Muertes and Katrina in the back, and Mil warns that nobody can stop him. And he says, I'm going to defend my title next week against both of them. So we got a triple threat on deck next week for the Lucha Underground Championship. Probably the biggest match in Lucha Underground so far. Mil Muertes, Prince Puma, Pentagon Jr. for the belt. It's not even a pay-per-view.
I mean, that's only episode 7. Like this is why season 2 is I don't want to say a lot better, but like more consistent than season 1 was a rough in the beginning. Season 2, we're already having matches with Fenix, Pentagon, Puma, Mil next week. You know, Cage is here, Mundo. Like, it's stacked. They know who their stars are.
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. And we cut to the commentary booth before the main event, and we have an announcement from Matt Stryker that in 3 weeks, so episode 9, Aztec Warfare 2, the invitations have been sent out. Oh, buddy, this is going to be awesome.
Yeah, I like the image of Katrina sending out invitations to everyone, handwriting all this stuff, and hating to be, you know, all the extra work she has to do now that she's in charge, and regretting it.
Yeah, exactly. Doing the payoffs and everything, that's got to be annoying.
Doing all the menial managerial type of things.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So our main event of the evening, King Cuerno versus Fenix for the Gift of the Gods Championship in a ladder match. And I used it to describe their first 2 matches. I'm not going to stop now. This was, of course, amazingly physical.
These matches really help Fenix because when you can do those dives and the match can end from the dive, as opposed to like a regular pinfall or submission match where it can really like when you dive to the outside, it's only going to end in count out, which some people don't like, but I think they can be good. But like here, like a ladder match is designed for a guy like Fenix. And in kayfabe, you could say like, well, who's going to win? The guy that can never die, the guy that's going to keep getting up, or the hunter, right? That can't kill the prey.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And this finish was amazing and I didn't think it was the finish, to be honest with you, because I'm not used to it, you know. Mm-hmm. But Fenix, you know, walks the ropes like a cat, does a Rana to put Cuerno through a table, and he grabs the Gift of the Gods. And he was taking so long, I was like, oh, this isn't it. And then it was, man.
Well, there was one spot where they were both hanging from the
oh my God.
That's pretty
from the little platform thing.
Dude, and the TV, I think, doesn't do it justice how high off the ground they are. Like, I don't know how you are about heights, but I don't like heights.
No, I hate them.
That's the kind of feel. Like, you ever play a video game where you jump off a ledge and like you feel like your balls go into your stomach, even though it's like a video game?
Yeah.
You kind of like feel like sometimes you have to close your eyes because you're falling so fast. You're like, it's just a video game. Why is it affecting me? Like, this wasn't quite that bad, but it was like, goddamn, they're really high up.
Yes. No, absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, man. So Fenix is your winner and now the 2-time holder of the Gift of the Gods. So where do we go from here?
Well, now we finally... what he has to give it 2 weeks before he can challenge for the title?
I think technically just 1 week, but Mil Muertes is already booked up for next week.
Okay, so it's in 2 to 3 weeks he'll be having a title match.
Yeah, we'll see either way.
Yeah, because I don't remember.
Guys, that's the episode. Sorry if we rifled through it, but it was really good. Once again, we didn't grade last week's episode. That was a mistake. Very good. Not as good as this week. I'm gonna give this week's episode an A.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
We did forget to grade last week's episode. That sucks.
That's all good.
We completely bought. You know what? The funny thing is, I would have given last week's episode an A.
Really?
And yeah, because I liked some of the matches a little bit more. Like this match, I didn't really care about Kobra Moon versus Sexy Star.
Yeah.
Pentagon Jr. versus Prince Puma. While a good match, I knew it wasn't gonna. I knew the ending, and it didn't matter. in the end. It was a story. Like they had spots, but it was just setting up a story. And as much as I love Cuerno and Fenix, like it wasn't their best stuff. But it was like I would give that match an A. But I'd have to give this show like a B.
Okay, that's fair enough. So, folks, that is the show. Please join us next week when we review Season 2, Episode 7. That is main evented, but there's definitely a world title match on the card because we've got Mil Muertes versus Prince Puma versus Pentagon Jr. That's going to be exciting. We thank you for listening, and God bless you. Have a good day.